Hey guys, Dave, Rolling Springs Ranch. Today, talking about the pig farm. We haven't done a video yet, but last week we picked up 2 pigs. They're supposed to be pasture pigs.
They're not.
I don't think they are. So we had a pen on the outside of our common area, which I call our space, and within 24 hours they rooted it. I mean, it didn't matter how much food you gave them, they rooted it up 8-10 inches deep. So he had to come up with plan B. Well, actually what led us to plan B was they escaped. So these little rebels, I guess everybody's a rebel on this farm. I guess the cows aren't that bad after all. These guys were tossing their barrel, their home barrel, their food barrel, their water barrel, and what happened was it hit the poultry, well, it's not poultry netting, is it? Sheep netting. And so it grounded it out. So at that point, these little guys chewed it and escaped. And so if you try to find 2 little 50-pound pigs on a 21-acre farm on the hills, good luck. So we put a bulletin out with our local neighbors, and sure enough, our 2 little piggies escaped their fence, escaped the outer perimeter fence that keeps everybody in check here. And they went a mile up the road. So they went to the neighbor's house a mile up the road and went right to their barn, like they've lived there all their life. So we loaded them up. Well, Dina jumped in my truck. I was still at work, and drove over there, threw them in the dog cage, threw them in the back of the truck. 50-pound pigs got some strength to them, so she was definitely hurting after that one. So I get off of work, the pigs are back in the dog crate in the back of my truck, and we had to come up with a temporary fix. Well, we still had a stall inside the barn. So I get off work, I go out front to the truck, and little be known, they broke the welds on the dog cage. So one of them jumped out of the back of my truck, was about ready to escape again. The other one just didn't know what to do at this point. So we wrestled them in the barn with food, jumping on them like it's WrestleMania, whatever. So here we are today, and what was going to be a couple hours of work ended up turning into a good solid half day, you would say, because we did other fence work. Today we dedicated her birthday to doing fence work and pig pens. So this time they're not going to get out. If they get out, well, the hell with them. They can mosey on to wherever they want. But yeah, because we have double protection. Actually, we have triple protection in here. We got a hot wire that's connected to the outside perimeter fence. Then we have the sheep netting again. The net fence that runs off a solar box. And then we're surrounded by gates. So let me just turn the camera around and kind of explain, keep in mind, it's a farm. We don't care. We're just trying to keep these pigs in check. I'm feeding them as fast as I can because I'm pretty much, I don't know. I'm not saying I'm done with them, but they are definitely a handful. I'd rather have 50 head of cattle on here than 2 pigs. That's just how different they are. So here's the white fencing I was talking about. It's got strands of wire through it for electric, and then we have the actual hot fence right here. So we kind of rearranged some paneling and so forth. Again, they rutted up the nice lawn, and I'm not going to have that. So they can rut this whole entire thing. I don't really care. You know, the way I look at it is they're only going to be around for
6 months.
6 months at best. So sometime in the late winter, early spring, I'll do the deeds and on to the next. So there's still a little room over here for the cows to come up, and we still got to push a couple panels around and so forth. So what we're going to do now, we're going to energize the fence, and we're going to test the voltage coming through, make sure, and then we're going to go back into the barn, and I'm just going to try to I'm going to try to grab 2 pigs, and hopefully all goes well and they don't bite and whatever else. So, and then we'll throw them in here, and they can do whatever. So they actually have a pretty good life so far. I mean, the chickens lay eggs. We're good on eggs. They get fresh eggs. They get their scraps and stuff like that, and then obviously they get their feed. So they are pretty anxious to get out of their current situation right now, because we haven't really fed them today, just for the fact being that you know, since they are food motivated, if we have any issues, they get out. It might be easier just to, you know, feed them and get them into their new current pen. So all right, well, I'm gonna go turn the fences on, and we'll see what we got going on. All right, so we got the big fence on, the 15-mile fence. It's hard to see the voltage coming through, for the fact being it's so bright outside. This is also our little water that we came up with. This is going to be obviously probably a temporary water, but it will do for right now. It's got a little hog water on there, but I have a feeling that they're just going to knock the hell out of it. So, all right, so we're having a hard time trying to pull a ground. It is so dry and so bright. Here, try right here on that main wire and see what happens. Man, can't see.
Don't open that gate.
Well, I just we're getting 6,000 volts out of the poultry netting. It's very hard to see exactly what is happening.
You can feel it.
But I can, yeah, I can definitely feel it. Or I should say I felt it. I think my jaw is locked up from the 6,000 volts. But anyway, we're trying to see what we got on the bottom line. Bottom line's going to be a hell of a lot stronger. Right now I pulled a muscle in my leg from being locked onto the fence for a couple seconds. So give me a couple minutes, let me try it out, let me stretch, and we'll try it again. All right, so we had to bypass our main fence. I said it was 15 miles. Actually, it's a 120-mile fence, 7 joules. And so we're on a loaner box. We have a small 50-mile. So
Thank you, Tony.
Yep, we got to thank Tony for lending it to us. I'll need it for another day or two. So we bypassed the main fence controller and went with the loaner one, put the voltmeter on it. Yeah, we're pegging out at 8,000 volts. So and probably the main reason is we got a lot of debris, a lot of grass growing up on the fence line. It's just kind of gotten out of hand this past summer, so I've weed killed it. I just got to go back and weed whack it and get it back down. So, and we did fix a bunch of, you know, damaged lines back the other way, so now it's pulling even more. So, but all right, well, here I go. I'm gonna go reach into this little pig pen, and Dina's actually getting it unsecure there, so I can grab these little fellas. Oh yeah, squeal like a pig. So All right, well, stand by. Let me get dressed up and situated for this one, and we'll pick them up, plop them down. We only got 5 minutes left.
All right.
Hold on, I gotta go here. Let me empty my pocket.
All right, recording.
All right, geared up, ready for the pig squeals. Ha. What you doing, my little fellas? What are you doing? Come here. You know what I should do is probably
Let's just break an egg right there.
Probably should just break an egg.
Now go after the egg. Yep, big one.
What do we got here, folks? Here.
God, you gotta distract him with one hand.
Come on, now. Just stop. Yeah, some fishes are heavy.
Right to the food. You probably could have just opened the thing and they ran right in.
I think I pulled a muscle. Hey, little fella.
What are you doing, Screech? Come on. You're just gonna have to step in, I think.
Hey, look.
Peppers.
He's not a Mexican pig. Here.
He's a
You like a
Mangalista.
little spicy egg?
He's supposed to be part Mangalista, isn't that Spanish?
Yeah.
Gonna have to go in, babe.
All right. Pause.
By his head in the...
All right, we had to use the food tactic. That first one wore me out.
I'll get him here.
Ouch.
Should have seen me doing it in a...
Woo. All right. Going in.
I'm gonna have to hand them to you, so I'm not gonna be able to...
Oh, you're gonna hand it to me.
I'm not gonna be able to climb.
Whoa, almost. All right. After these messages, we'll be right back.
Tag teamed him.
Oh, you don't want to fry them now.
Let's see when they learn the fence.
Woo.
So they could have jumped out that whole time. Zach and Screech right there.
Yeah.
Oh, poop coming out. You're on TV. They poop like dogs. Well, let's turn on the solar charger.
Solar on. All right, guys. Well, that's it. That is the
entertainment for
that is
today.
the entertainment on the farm this week. So that's our pig pen, and we'll make a couple other videos along the way, show you progress. But yeah, these guys are going to be looking good.
They don't have any shade really during the day, so we got to work on that, but we're getting there. They can go in their little hut.
Might be running out of time on the card. All right, guys. Well, if you like what you see, hit the like button, subscribe. We try to do as many little videos as I can, with the exception that I don't lose my patience and cool. So there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but this one I had to make a little video on because definitely took all day, and hopefully these pigs do not breach this fence. So this is their home for the next 4 months. After that, I'll show them another home. So, all right, well, until next week, Dave, Rolling Springs Ranch, out.